stock. Watch to the end of the video and see what she sounds like with a little cam. Next, I got from Comp Cam. Comp Cam's also a sponsor. So Ballistics Fab gave me like 30% off. Comp Cam gave me a big deal. I'm really not too sure exactly what the percent off was. There's a big Comps Cam sign. Full roller rockers for the 4.3. Pretty excited about that. Oh, here's the push rods, and then I got a timing chain, and then the springs and retainer clips, all that for the heads I sent in with the heads from that engine right there. So the heads are at the shop right now. Now all I'm basically waiting for is the hydraulic lifters and cam. The hydraulic lifters are a short throw. The guy was saying that they're better. I really can't explain it except for they don't have to travel as far to get the lift open. So the maximum half-inch lift is occurred much quicker than normal. So we'll get more flow in. So that seems pretty exciting. And we are back. This whole video is going to be sponsored by Comp Cams. They are sponsoring me and they hooked me up. I'm actually very excited for what I'm about to do, and I think that this is going to fulfill a dream of mine since I've had for the last, I don't know, 20 years. Alright, I have the top end off and everything all ready to put the cam and lifters and everything else onto it. I got to do some cleanup work, but with that said, I started about 8 o'clock this morning. It is now almost 5. I did eat lunch and ran to the parts store twice. Other than that, I've been working on this whole time. It did take a while to do all of this, but now I am ready, which is good because the second part of my order just came in about an hour ago, and it is these bad boys. I'm actually very excited about these. These are the lifters, and according to Comp Cams, what they call it is the reduced travel OE style hydraulic lifter. And as far as, I mean, I guess I'll just read what it says here, but when dealing with a full travel lifter, certain engines respond better with a light preload because it recovers more quickly than any from any bad harmonics from the valve train. Others work better with heavy preload because of oil pressure. Let me reread that sentence. Others work better with a heavy preload because oil volume is reduced under the plunger. When increased stiffness, Comp Cam's reduced travel hydraulic roller lifters allow you to have the advantage of both preload and reduced oil volume, producing a more stable and highest revving hydraulic lifter available. So long story short, because I'm working with a different cam as well as the harmonics from this 4.3, I think that lifter is going to be awesome because I am going to be revving higher rev limiter. And if you know anything about these 4.3s, this is a balance shaft. Because this is a 350 cut off with 2 cylinders and made into the 4.3, it did have some harmonics going on, and they put this balancer in there in the later years of the 4.3 and made it a lot better, as in smoother running. And that goes for anything. I mean, if you're riding in a four-cylinder engine, you'll know there's definitely more vibration. So that's going to help out a lot with the faster RPM. And this is the part number right there, 875-12. All right, now this is the heartbeat of the whole thing. It is a Comp Cam 56-430-8. And there you see the specs. The intake and exhaust is 280, and the valve lift is 0.525. I had a 383 stroker with 270, maybe it was a 275, I don't know, but and then it was like a 4.8 on the lift. But this is going to be more extreme than what I had in my 383 stroker. So that's the stock lifters right there, and the stock cam. Let's lift this cam up next to each other and see if we can notice any difference. Let me put you on pause here for a second so I can get everything all ready. Okay, so right off the bat you can look at the lobes here, and they're definitely taller and wider, so that's going to be some serious performance added on this engine. I'm very impressed. Really excited. Next I'll show you the heads. Okay, so we have the stock head on the right and Comp Cam spring upgrade on the left. And check out those springs. They are definitely a lot bigger than stock, as well as they're a double spring. Do you see that in there? So this can handle that the cam. This is what they recommend for it. And I have heard of people just throwing a cam in and using stock springs. Yeah, idle it'll still sound cool, but the second you put RPM into the engine, you'd wish that you had better springs. So to crown off the top, I got these, and very excited about this whole build. Comp Cam's are awesome. Trent at Comp Cam just really helped me out with this. These are full roller rockers. So you have the bearing on the side, you have the bearing on the top, and just this alone should give me about 14 horse, I'm hoping. The head took about 3 weeks to get it built or reworked, because the shop that I like using is so busy. The intake valve they had to replace on these heads, and it had, I think, about 130,000 miles on it. So I don't know if that's common or what. Next, they hooked me up with a sign, Comp Cam sign, racing sign. I'll put that on the, around the pits and such. When I first looked at this timing set, I was worried because the picture from past experience, the picture shows a timing set that you need a wider or a high performance, I guess you'd call it, timing cover. But on the 4.3, they are designed like this. So the stock one actually looks basically the same. They're already high performance, I guess you could say, right off the bat. So instead of having the two like a bike chain style, it's four all together in really tight formation. So that I will also replace. And that other box right there, that's push rods. So push rods with the roller rockers and springs and cam and lifters, they really hooked me up. I'm so excited about this, and I can't wait to see how this baby will perform and sound. So that's where I'm at thus far, and depending on how long this takes, I hope to get this thing running so you guys can hear it by the end of this video. We'll see what we can do. So let's do a quick little note to self. This is the piston of a 97, and this is top dead center. You can look at the dots there, and look at that edge right there. Now let's go look at my other 2001 4.3. So this 4.3, you can see the top dead center line right there. Look at that edge on that piston. This is a 2001 4.3, and also that little dome right there. I think this one has slightly less compression ratio than the other. And I'm taking the heads off of the 2001 and put them on the 97 Vortec heads. I don't know if those Vortec heads are different, but I'm going to have a higher compression ratio in the 97 versus the 2001. Okay, I got the lifters in. I guess I can show you that. Lifters are in, the cam is in. You can see the whatever you call it, the lube. I got this lube from O'Reilly's, and it says for rebuilding engines. So I'm using this for the assembly lube, and it's can be used for a lot of stuff. Putting all the covers over them, over all those parts, and then I'll start cleaning up around the gasket, and also for the heads I'll clean that all up. And you can kind of see the cylinders still have some cross hatching. Isn't too bad for 200,000 miles, and totally rebuilding the top end. And all right, let's see how far I can get today. Okay, so let's do some comparisons. I have a stock CV axle on my 3/4 ton, and it is 19 inches from where the rotor is going to sit. That FabTech extension or block right there is 1.5 inches, so we're going to have almost 20 inches there. Is that right? 19 and 20.5, sorry. Okay, so then you have, this is a axle that Jeremiah from Real Lift sent me, and this is what he does as well as his lift. He can make these longer to take out the FabTech block and provide better angle for your CVs. With that said, this one's just a little bit longer because he can make them custom, and it is almost 22 inches. So from 19 to 22, that's 3 inches longer. But that's the setup. It's really nice, and I'm going to send these back to him. I'm sure he can use them, and I will get started on my IFS front suspension. It has been a few weeks since my last recording. I ran into a predicament with my full roller rockers from Comp Cams. It seems that my I guess I'll bring it over here. My stock Vortec heads are not necessarily stock Vortec, meaning the 350 Vortecs are press-in studs, and the 4.3 you're actually screw-in. So you have 7/16 bolt right there versus a 3/8 press-in. So Comp Cams does not make a 7/16 self-aligning full roller rocker. So with that said, the roller rocker that I did have, this is the video that was sent to me by Comp Cams. They do not fit on the stud, as well as if you look on the very end of this roller here, it is not a roller rocker or a self-aligning roller rocker. So that is a problem. So what it is, I went to Harland Sharp, and they love my story and what I'm trying to do with the competition, that they are actually sponsoring me. as well as Comp Cam and Ballistic Fab and some others that we are Real Lift. But these are actually custom made full roller rockers. So the pin here is standard, as in all their rockers, and it comes in 7/16 and 3/8. So all they had to do is remove and put that in there, and then do a self-aligning roller here. What I do like about the self-aligning is this whole piece is milled and is one piece. Their competitors that I've seen, it's a bearing and they just have two washers on either side, so it's not that strong. More things rubbing around on each other, and this is all one piece and a lot stronger. So this Harland Sharp rocker, I am extremely excited about. And the guys over there, if you do have the same situation, if you are running an S10, you can get it custom made for you as well. So you'll have the 7/16 diameter for the stud, and a self-aligning, so you're not going to be downsizing from 7/16 to 3/8. You can keep the strength, and you can get this roller rocker that is not commonly made on most high-end production roller rockers. So I was getting kind of discouraged trying to find those, that in other words, rockers with those options, and they helped me out. And with a color that I really like. So I know what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get started on my heads once again, and hopefully I'll hear my engine rumble by the end of the day. We will see how it goes. All right, so the stock rocker studs are right here. And this is the ARP stud, so it's just a little bit longer, which is perfect for the nut on top. And it's also 7/16. Okay, so the problem that I was running into is Comp Cams does not make a rocker that is self-aligning in 7/16 stud, but the Harland Sharp made them custom for me, so they do have the self-aligning 7/16. The only thing is you have to, actually, no matter what, you have to put in ARP studs if you are going to put in your rockers, roller rockers, and that's the part number right there if you can see it. And it's just a little bit of a pretty penny. And then what you have here is you have to torque them down to 50 pounds per square inch. So let's get these attached. After installing those roller rockers and those lock nuts, my valve covers stock don't fit. So with an extension of a 1/2 inch, they do fit. So that one there, I got a little bit crazy with the Sawzall, and I broke the bottom piece because it was so thin, and I ended up using a diamond bladed grinding tool. It's like what you use to cut tile. I'll show you that. And it cut them really well. This is the extra, and I had 4 valve covers, and I used them to make my own. If anyone that is trying to build a 4.3 Vortec, these are next to impossible to find. There is one company out of Australia that make them, but I only see them with 2 of these PVC ports, but no filler hose, and they're like $300. So I figured I'll just use the ones I have. I use JB Weld across here, clean them all up, and I don't think there's going to be a problem at all. And so then the bolts here, I'll have to get also creative. The most important part of these is, 1, that there's the same diameter here, so it makes the seal, and then 2, that the threads are good so it can put your valve cover on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these. I'm going to add a 1/2 inch of material since I have extras, and I'll just make these a little bit longer, and I'll weld them in place and grind them, make them look good in this area, and just as long as it passes through the rubber grommet without destroying the grommet. it'll still seal. It'll be extended for these, and I'll be good to go. It'll just cost me a little bit of epoxy to make them work, and sweet. So this is how I notch it. Put it on a magnet. Make sure it's 3.5 inches from head to that edge, and weld her up. When putting these 4.3s together, here are some tricks to do. Make sure you're top dead center, and by doing that, before you tear anything down, next your exhaust, I don't know what you'd call that, vent tube or something. This is an aluminum housing, and this is extremely easy to cross thread, especially since it's a metal pipe. It doesn't like to bend or anything. So a trick to put that into place, what I like to do is I will take the wrench and put it right here, which is 7/8, and then I take a 3/4 here and I press down to make sure it's all level, and then I start screwing it. And very careful the first 2 rotations, making sure that it's being threaded in properly, and if it's not, back it out, put it back in. But providing that pressure with that top wrench, it works very well to get that in. Okay, next, your fuel lines. I don't know what it is, but every time I disconnect these, it's next to impossible to get them back in. So the trick is, you undo that bolt right there, you undo these 2 bolts right here, and you lift it up so it's just hanging. You screw them in the back, then you press them down with these bolts, and it takes out any tension of this metal piping here, if it has any bends or anything, and that'll go a lot smoother when you put everything back together. So those are some tricks of working on 4.3. Okay, so today I will finish up this video and get it posted so y'all can see I finally have accomplished what I was searching for, and that is to get this beast started. We'll listen to it in a second, but I want to give a shout out to Johnson Auto Service and Repair there in Rigby. There's Skylar. This guy is pretty sweet. I put a advertisement or a yell for help on Facebook, and he came and helped me figure out what was going on. This whole video has taken probably almost 3 months from start to finish. I had to get the heads rebuilt with the dual springs, the rockers, the cam. The rockers that did come were wrong. Putting it all together, not starting, I tore it all back apart, checked everything out, double checked all the timing, put it all back together, and what Skylar helped me out with is the timing issue. It's all it was. There's a distributor cap, and we just troubleshot everything and went through it. And I don't know if me trying to start it before and it being off timing, if the computer turned it off, but it actually sat here without me touching it for a week. And then we started touching it, and I got some backfiring, which I've never had before. I replaced the camshaft positioning sensor. The coil was good. The cap and rotor were new. And I even bought, I guess you'd say, used but looked better spark plug wires from the local iPole to double check everything. So it took me a long time to get this thing going. But all right, let's... Oh, also with Skylar at that... when he came over to help, he informed me that he also is a YouTuber, and it's called Do It Yourself. I'll link it. I think it's called Do It Yourself Auto or something. I'll link it, and you can check him out. All right, let's listen to this bad boy. There is a little bit of a knock. I don't know if I'll be able to talk because it'll be loud. As in, I think some valves or something needs to be, just on one side, needs to be adjusted. But we definitely find that out. So here we go. Oh, let's try it one more time. while it runs, the computer probably needs to do its timing. There's the tick you can hear. So I'll need to adjust those valves and listen to the exhaust. All right, well, to finish up the tune, I bought this 411 computer out of a 2001. We can use this to fine tune and dyno it, and I believe I'll be putting that in and removing this black box. But even that, it kind of seems like it might be missing a little bit. I'll have to see if the servicing and tune light's on. Check that out. But that ends this video. Thanks for your help, or thanks for watching, and until next time. So after I started up the Blazer the first time, there was this ticking, and I didn't run it too long and I turned it off. So I started it up again to try to identify the roller lifter ticking, and there is none left. It doesn't sound like it was before, probably because the computer learned its some of its adjustments, as well as the pressure in those lifters pressured up, and now it doesn't. Let's try it again. Okay, it starts up a lot better right off the bat. No ticking. Sounds really good. And this is what it sounds like. So let's go to the before. Now let's go to the after. And I'm using the same microphone, same GoPro, same everything. Volume's all the same. That gives you an idea of how she turned out. So when I do rev it up, it does make a little bit of popping, but matter of fact, I'll put it, or turn it on one last time and rev it up so you can hear it. Actually, that's kind of interesting because it sounds even better every time I start it and run it. So we'll see how it goes. I did show you that computer that I might put in so we can program it. I don't know if it runs really well. I'm not going to use the 411 computer before King of the Hammers just because of the time constraints and everything. But I am picking up a 2001 Blazer tomorrow from Helena, Montana. To steal all the electronics if I do choose to do that. So, but right now, it's looking even better every day I start it. So we'll see what happens when we go from here. Thanks for watching.